There is a creature that watches you when you are most alone. It was born from a fire that leaves no ash, and it stands in the corner of your room, just beyond your line of sight. It is a soldier in an ancient, unseen war, and its only mission is you. For millennia, this invisible army, led by the first to ever rebel, has pursued a single, chilling purpose: to burrow into your soul, to hollow you out, and to prove that the vessel of your body is nothing but a shell of meat, utterly unworthy of life. This is the story of Iblis, his legions of shadow, and the horrifying methods they use to drag our world, one screaming soul at a time, into eternal darkness. The first rebel, the origin of Iblis. Before it became the architect of all your fear, it was not a monster. It was a being of singular devotion. Islamic tradition tells us that Iblis was not an angel, but a Jinn, a being forged from smokeless fire, granted the terrifying freedom to choose. For eons, its tireless worship earned it a place among the angels, a jewel in the courts of heaven. But that perfection was shattered by the creation of a thing made of mud. When God sculpted the first human, Adam, from wet clay and breathed a soul into him, he commanded all in his presence to bow. The angels, born of pure light, obeyed instantly. Iblis did not. Its refusal was not silent. When God demanded to know why it defied him, its voice was a hiss of pure venom, an arrogance so profound it would curdle reality itself. "I am better than him," it spat. "You created me from fire, and him you created from clay." In its pride, it saw only the fragile, disgusting flesh, completely blind to the divine spark shivering within it. For this act of cosmic rebellion, Iblis was ripped from the heavens and cast down, forever cursed. In that moment of violent exile, it was transformed. It became Ash Shaitan, the adversary, a being of pure hatred, its form twisted by its own malice, now poised to begin its work. The Vow of Eternal Enmity. Banished and broken, Iblis did not beg for mercy. It asked for time, a stay of execution until the final day when all things end. God granted this, but Iblis was not planning to repent. It was planning a war. With its new, damned existence, it made a vow, a blood oath of eternal war against Adam and every child born from his flesh. The Quran records its horrifying promise: "I will surely sit and wait for them on your straight path. Then I will come to them from before them and from behind them, from their right and from their left." This wasn't a threat. It was a hunting strategy, to stalk you from every conceivable angle, to become the shadow that dogs your steps, the cold dread at your back, the flicker of movement in your peripheral vision. It dedicated its entire being to one relentless goal: to infest humanity, to engineer our collapse from the inside out, and to prove its original searing judgment correct, that we are a weak, pathetic, and ungrateful creation. This vow was the first shot in a spiritual conflict that you are born into, a hidden battlefield where your very soul is the prize. The unseen army, the soldiers of Iblis. Iblis does not hunt alone. Its vow was the founding charter for an army, a legion of nightmares recruited from its own kind, the Shayateen. These are the devils, the Jinn who saw his rebellion and felt a sickening thrill, willingly enlisting in his war against us. It is crucial to remember that not all Jinn are evil, but the soldiers of this army are sworn to the dark. The Quran issues a chilling warning. Verily, he and his tribe see you from where you cannot see them. This is their single most terrifying advantage. They are not just invisible, they are a constant, unseen presence in your most private moments. They are the reason the hair on your arm stands up in an empty room. They are the pressure you feel on your chest while you sleep. They are the silent architects of your worst moments, This army is a grotesque hierarchy of terror. Prophetic tradition describes Iblis placing his throne upon the water each day, a throne of filth and shadow. He dispatches his legions, his children, with a single command: ruin them. At the end of the day, they crawl back to report their deeds. A devil might boast of inciting a murder, another of causing a riot, but the one Iblis pulls closest, the one it rewards with a sickening embrace, is the one who whispers in the ear of a husband and a wife until their love curdles into hatred. Their true goal is not just chaos, it is a deeply personal form of soul rot, shredding the fabric of our lives by turning our own hearts against those we love most. They want to leave you utterly, terrifyingly alone. The arsenal of deception. Iblis's methods. This army has perfected a form of psychological torture that leaves no physical scars. They cannot force your hand. They don't need to. They turn your own mind into a prison. Their primary weapon is waswasa, the whisper. This is not a thought. It is a parasite, a sliver of an idea that slithers into your mind, feeling like your own, but its roots are in darkness. It's the sudden, sickening urge to swerve your car into traffic. It's the voice that tells you the person you love is disgusting. It's the venomous suggestion that your entire life is meaningless. These whispers are living things, designed to feel like a part of you. A cancer of the soul that grows until you can no longer tell which thoughts are yours and which are the monster's. Next, they use tazyin, the glamour of rot. They are masters of illusion, making the ugliest sins seem beautiful. They wrap addiction in a cloak of excitement, betrayal in the guise of self-fulfillment. They make the act of destroying yourself feel like an act of liberation, twisting your natural desires into instruments of self-mutilation. A brutally effective tactic is simply making you forget, not just your keys or an appointment, but your very will to survive spiritually. They are psychic leeches that feed on your resolve. They work to make you forget the promises you made to yourself, the person you wanted to be. One night, you go to bed determined to change, and you wake up hollow, the conviction gone, with no memory of why you even cared. This is their work. They are hunters who smell blood. They wait for moments of extreme anger, sadness, or fear. When you are enraged, they pour fuel on the fire, pushing you to scream, to hit, to destroy. When you are lost in grief, they wrap their cold arms around you and whisper that you have been abandoned, that the pain is all there is, attempting to sever your connection to any hope of mercy forever. The ultimate goal, beyond sin. But here is the final, terrifying truth. All of these tactics, the whispers that feel like thoughts, the illusions, the emotional vampirism, they are not just to make you sin. A sin can be forgiven. His ultimate goal is something infinitely worse. It is not damnation, it is annihilation. His entire mission is to prove his original argument, that you are worthless. To do that, he doesn't need to just make you fail. He needs to hollow you out completely. He wants to drown you so deep in guilt and self-hatred that you give up on mercy, convincing yourself that you are a thing too broken to be saved. He wants to lead you to a state of such utter despair that your faith shatters, and in that moment your soul becomes an empty vessel. He, who was damned for his own pride, wants to remake you in his image, a creature that lives and breathes, but is filled with nothing but cold, eternal emptiness. The ultimate horror is not going to hell. It's having hell colonize your soul while you are still alive. This is his greatest deception. He has no real power. He cannot break your will. His only weapon is suggestion, a poisoned seed that can only grow if you water it, a power you can choose to shatter. The Fortress of Faith. How to protect yourself. You are not defenseless in this war. You have been given an arsenal, a set of desperate measures to fortify the walls of your soul against a siege that never ends. The first and most immediate weapon is seeking refuge. The phrase, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, I seek refuge in Allah from the accursed Satan, is not just a prayer. It is a spiritual scream, a conscious act of throwing yourself under God's absolute protection, admitting you are too weak to fight this thing alone. Second is the constant remembrance of God, or dhikr. A heart busy repeating the names of God is a deafening fortress. The whispers can find no silence to fester in. It is a frantic, focused chant that drowns out the parasitic voices. Third is reciting the Quran. God's own words are a blade of pure light. The Prophet Muhammad taught that Shaitan will physically flee a house where Surah Al-Baqarah is recited. Ayat al-Kursi, the verse of the throne, isn't just a prayer. Reciting it summons a celestial guardian to stand over you while you sleep, a warrior of light to battle the things in the dark. The final 2 chapters, Al-Falaq and An-Nas, were revealed specifically to combat this dark magic, to shield you from the whispers that crawl from the unseen. Another powerful tool is wudu, ritual purity. This ablution is a spiritual cleansing, washing away the unseen filth that their presence leaves on your skin, a film of despair you can't see but can always feel. And finally, when you recognize the whisper for what it is, when that alien, horrifying thought enters your mind, you must wage war. Acknowledge it, spit on it, and immediately seek refuge in God. Your refusal to let the thought take root is a brutal counterattack. The war declared in the heavens is not a distant cosmic event. It is happening now, inside your head, in the quiet of your home. Iblis's army is tireless, and they have been studying you your entire life. But this is not a story meant to leave you in fear. It is a story of empowerment. For all their ancient, gruesome cunning, the plots of the devil are ultimately weak. A fortress of faith built with these weapons is a place they cannot touch. You have been warned about the enemy. You have been shown his terrifying methods, and you have been given the arsenal to win this war for your own soul. May God protect us all from the whispers that crawl and the plots that ensnare. What other horrors of the unseen do you want to drag into the light? Let us know in the comments, and if this warning was a benefit to you, subscribe and share it. You may not know who needs to hear it. Until next time, stay vigilant.